All right, everyone, it's Trump trial update time. Donald going into court the other day, and of course, as part of the sentencing stage with the case with Engoron and Letitia James. He's effectively, they're going to throw the book at him. I highly expect them to give him a really high fine and boot him out of New York business entirely and say, you're not allowed to do that here. And by the way, we're literally stealing Trump Tower from you. Because the whole act by Engoron and Letitia James, on her side, it's purely political. Part of the reason she was even elected to her position and is able to prosecute this case is because she came out to a largely blue population, left-leaning, very left-leaning, in New York, and she said, I will get Donald Trump. That was her entire mission statement. Effectively, that was her main campaign slogan. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get that. You know, he thinks that he's all that. I'm going to take him down a peg. Wiggle, wiggle, shake, shake. Doing the sassy, I'm going to get him thing. I'm going to take him down a peg. It's an attempt to emasculate Trump, effectively. It's an attempt to humiliate him. It'll be front page news when they probably steal Trump Tower from him. They'll very visibly, they'll make sure that the cameras are rolling before the cops show up to put the condemned sign on the front door and stuff, and Letitia James will stand there like it's some great accomplishment. I think it'll backfire in the political sense, and that's why Trump is acting out in court. Normally, you do not berate the judge when you are on the stand as part of your sentencing. You don't normally talk over the judge. You don't normally call the judge out as being biased. You don't normally fire shots at the prosecutor insinuating racism. Trump is doing all of this and much more. That's because he realizes he's gonna get hit like by a fucking ton of bricks in this case. He realizes that he's, legally speaking, already lost. There's no reason for him to put up a defense. He knows that it's politically motivated as well, so he knows that the punishment's not going to be a slap on the wrist. They're going to boot him out of business in New York and throw the book at him most likely. So what does Trump do? He takes lemons and he makes lemonade. He knows that all the reporters are going to talk about all the things that he said, and they'll go over every word in the transcripts, reporting on it. So he's giving juicy details to the press. He's conning them, basically. What exactly is the front page news with regards to the Trump trial right now? Is it, here's a detailed and exhaustive list of all the reasons why Donald Trump will get the book thrown at him? Or is it, crazy Donald attacks the judge? It's crazy Donald attacks the judge. His voters, by the way, are going to eat this up. The MAGA crowd loves this because it gives them an opportunity to have de facto mean tweets. Here's Trump's latest list of insults against Letitia James. That's great. That's for the core fan base. And for the fence sitters that aren't necessarily on board with him, it gives him the opportunity to look like he's frustrated, and then the judge is going to lash out too. Engoron referring to him, for instance, link in the description, archived, of course, as a broken record and berating Trump in return. It makes the justice system look a little bit less unbiased now, doesn't it? It makes it look like the kangaroo court case that it already is. It's not difficult for Trump to do this. He's been rope-a-doping these morons now for years with this basic strategy. He did this with fucking Rosie O'Donnell back in the goddamn MTV era. So he's not new at this. He knows that the legal system has been weaponized to try to take him down. They're trying to take all of his money, all of the assets that can continue generating money. They're currently abusing his family members. So he's just going to lash out and hope that that wins him the election, so that he can return fire in a legal capacity once he's reelected. He's already allegedly planning to do so now. I don't believe in the weaponization of federal bureaus like the DOJ and etc., for example. But if they are going to be weaponized, shoe on the other foot, I would think that the person being most explicitly persecuted by them should go in and stomp them around a bit and then, give them a taste of their own medicine. Yeah, I support that. Look, Trump's entire family right now is on the witness stand. All of his associates, anyone that didn't disavow him after the fact. If you worshipped at the altar of Trump derangement syndrome and chanted Orange Man bad after you worked for Trump, the system mysteriously never seems to have a problem with you. You don't get investigated. Ergo, because investigations tend to find guilt, because show me the man and I'll show you the crime. If they are completely open-ended catfishing expeditions, I mean fishing expeditions, well, kind of both, and you're going to find some wrongdoing. Like, look at what they did with Manafort. Again, they got him on, charges that stemmed from 10 years before the 2016 election ever happened, and they acted like it was Donald Trump's fault. They went after him because he didn't decide to turn around, do a 180, and say, oh, I'm sorry that I helped Donald Trump get elected. Anyone that did, perfectly fine. Anyone that stayed loyal, like Flynn, all of them went to jail or got fined or at the very least got legally harassed. Of course they're going to do this to Trump. He's well aware of this fact. They've been doing it for years. He doesn't have anything to gain by being respectful to Engoron. Again, who sounds like the fucking name of a lesser Star Wars character or something like that. It sounds like some alien race, like living with the Ewoks or something. Letitia James is clearly biased. She's pretty much stated that publicly. It was literally part of her campaign for her position. I will get Trump. What the fuck would he have to gain by respecting her? He should berate them in court. He should absolutely violate gag orders, berate these people, and do whatever he wants to do, because effectively the only thing he can do is make it a political spectacle. He's not going to win legally. There's no possibility of that. The cases were only brought in the first place to punish Trump and to try to sap him of money and campaign time and so forth. It's not working in the primaries very well now, is it? They expect him, by the way, to be the nominee. They're worried about that based on recent polling. So now they're going to transit over. They're going to try to have him in jail before the general election. There's a good chance that they're successful, too. Maybe not jail, but like house arrest or something like that. He'll be exiled to the Mar-a-Lago. We've contained the Donald. Well, I mean, he can still run a presidential campaign, except possibly in the state of Colorado, where a Dem donor judge is presiding over a litigation to determine whether he's actually eligible or not, even though he self-evidently is, and there effectively is no legal question. We'll be very interested in what happens in that particular case, by the way. I don't know. It could go either way. I mean, the judge would be absolutely nuts, absolutely totally bonkers to rule in favor of the plaintiffs, but at the same time, Dem donor judge, far leftist, in a critical swing state. Well, at least it used to be. It's a lean blue state now. Yeah, there's definitely a modus to, end your own legal career after the fact just to stop Donald because you're more afraid of him than you are being removed as judge or something like that. After all, you can always get a consulting position at MSNBC when a higher court decides to smack the shit out of you. Yeah, just work for MSNBC, or at this point you could work for Fox News. You're the dedicated TDS-suffering legal analyst or something like that. So you don't have to worry too much about making the proper legal decision at this point. By the way, Engoron, he's politically biased as well. Allegedly, he takes nude selfies and posts them on his alumni page. And we'll be talking about that in the live stream later. I do have a link. I don't know whether that's meant to be a meme or if it's even a real photo, actually. You might need some bleach for your eyes afterwards, but I still think it's newsworthy on the off chance that it's actually legit, because I don't know at this point. So yeah, Trump is berating Engoron openly in his own court, and it's very, very amusing. He'll probably keep doing it. You've got some wonderful quips in the link in the description. You can read those for yourself. That's about all. Peace out.